Okay, John, excellent talk at eMetrics Milan. We were just joking before we started that we've shared some of the ideas were presented in different ways, but really kind of the same concepts. So why don't you give our YouTube subscribers some ideas, some of the highlights from your presentation?
Yes, I was talking about the fact that a lot of companies call themselves data-driven, but we find that when we actually work with them, they are what we call data-focused. And with that I mean is that they spend a lot of time on creating reports and polishing reports and looking at data all day long, but it doesn't drive their business decisions. And also when they do business development projects, they do new sites, new apps, and so on, they don't evaluate them in a data way. They have other. They say that the data doesn't show anything, but our gut feeling says that we want to go with this instead. So when in fact they say they are data driven, we say that they are data focused. And a lot of people that think they are data focused, they are in fact what I call data curious. And that means that they every now and then they dip into the data, and a typical sign of a company which is data
focused as opposed to data driven.
Yeah, well. Now I was thinking the typical sign of a company which is data focused. No, sorry. The typical sign of a company which is data curious is that then you get these like rumors of data. It's like we've heard that in Finland the conversion rate is this and that, and then everybody starts to run around, and then you figure out it was just a flaw in the measurement or something like that, or so that's what we call also like a data outbreak. There's some panic in the organization because some metrics are going off, but then it turns out that the system for measurement wasn't unanimous, it wasn't complete over the whole company, so it was just an anomaly that was so that's a typical data curious company. And when you're on the top level, like what does it mean to be data driven? And that's when I touched on the same thing that you were talking about, and we have found that the best way of being data driven is a strong combination of using quantitative and qualitative data. And the quantitative data, it answers the question what, and the qualitative data answers the question why. So a lot of companies, they stop at the what. So they can see that users are dropping off, but they don't understand why they are dropping off, for example. And then I showed a case where I think it's a really interesting case. It's one of our small little gems that we've done in the recent months, and I like the results a lot, so I like to speak about that case because it's so small and it looks so simple, but it actually took a lot of work to find out what was really the problem. And in this particular case, there was a huge drop-off on a registration, on an application page. So then I asked the people in the audience, so in this particular site, what do you think the problem is? And everybody says, oh, it's the forum, it's the application page. But then what we've discovered was that people, by using the qualitative tools, in addition to the quantitative tools, we found out that the people that were on the form, they either completed the whole form or they didn't start it at all.
So either the full form is filled out or nothing is happening.
Yeah. So then we came to the realization, actually, the problem isn't the form. It's just that the people that didn't start filling it out, they came to the wrong place. They didn't, at that point, they didn't need a form. So then we did an exit intent survey and asked them, what did you expect to find on this page? And they said they came for more information. So then we looked at the preceding page in the funnel, which didn't have an option to find more information. It was like one of these like register now kind of things, right? So then we added a button which gave people some more information. And then all of a sudden, both the people that were looking for information and the ones that wanted to be just done with it, they both the conversion rates
find what they want.
Exactly. Yeah. So with that particular test, by using a combination of quantitative and qualitative data, answering the what, answering the why, we killed what we call like a typical conversion myth, which is like where you have your biggest drop-off, that's where your problem is. Yeah, but it wasn't. It was just a symptom of the problem on the previous page. Yeah.
And I think it's not the magnitude of the change that you're making on the page, it's the magnitude in the minds of the visitors.
Exactly.
And you solve the problem for them. So let's talk about Conversionista.
Yeah.
You guys have been around now for a while. You hold a conference, so tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, now we have. I started the company 6 years ago. I saw some people talk, including Tim Ash and Brian Eisenberg, and I went to the first conversion conferences in San Francisco where I saw you speak. I was very inspired. in particular by your funnel, e-commerce funnel, and how you get people to take various steps, and not only just seeing like we have a 3% conversion rate. What does it mean? Well, it depends on where in the funnel people drop off. So I was very inspired by that, and then I started a company by myself. We've grown it to around 30 people, and we're an agency. It's small with US numbers, but we're definitely the number one agency in Scandinavia. So we did Conversion Jam this year, which is a conference which has now had 648 attendees.
Awesome! That is an awesome number.
Yeah, in little Sweden, I'm so proud of that. And we beat Opticon in San Francisco with like a 30 people turn.
Not only that, I mean, like they have hundreds of millions behind them. So impressive.
Yeah. So that's cool, and the next step we're taking now is we've joined a couple of companies that are working together that we call the Global Optimization Group. So we're trying to create a network of agencies that can help clients grow internationally. So we teamed up with the Conversionista from Germany, Wider Funneling in North America, Online Dialogue in the Netherlands, PRWD in the UK, and Optilab in France. So now we have 150 like really strong conversion experts and helping international clients. So that's like my next big challenge, and it's a tough one. It's it's hard to get those. We have what's called the toothbrush problem. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, I'm not familiar with that. So.
It's actually, as far as I know, it was coined by Dan Ariely.
Okay.
And he said, like, methods are like toothbrushes. So everybody's got one, and they're all identical. But no, you wouldn't use anybody else's toothbrush, right? So now we have these methods, and they're all like exactly the same thing. But this is my little toothbrush, and
it's funny because I always tell people. I mean, there's like us being in the industry for a while, so we have the conversion framework, the marketing experiments formula, wider funnel, and I'm like, when you peel it off, we're doing the same thing. We just like to put our branding on it, and that's just the reality. So let's talk a little bit more about the company. How does your day typically start? What time do you wake up? What time do you go to sleep? How much me time do you have?
I usually get up at 6 because it's way too early, and then I cycle to work. I try to do that to get exercise, and I have one of my kids on a tandem trailer behind me, so I drop him off at school, and then I do a lot of training. Okay. So one of the things that we've known is that some people want to buy our consultancy services, but also a lot of people, they want to internalize it, so they want to do it themselves. And we help people doing that by having a training program. And for example, PEP and Conversion XL, they do the online training, so they get a global reach. I think that they do that in great. I don't know how many people they have, but we have the physical training. So we have a course over 9 occasions, half-day format. Over 9 weeks, where we basically take you from starting optimization, and at the end, you're supposed to come out with an A/B test, and then there's a beauty contest, so like who had the best A/B test during the course. So over 200 people has taken that course now, the physical course in Sweden. So I do a lot of training, and I did something which was very scary. Already 3 years ago, which is I brought in an external CEO. So he's a partner. So I am now, my job title is Chief Conversionista. So I go to places like this, I do talks, and I try to spread the word and inspire my colleagues and so on. But I don't do so much of the operations stuff anymore.
Well, I was going to ask you, reflect back. What was the hardest part of running the business? And still, what do you find the most challenging? Are no challenges?
Oh, there's so many. I don't know.
I always get the same answer. I was like, there's so many. Which one should I choose?
No, but I think I suffer from what a lot of people like probably you and a lot of the people that are watching this, just the whole workload thing of balancing your personal life and when you run a business. It's endless. It's like the things that you can pay attention to and try to fix and optimize. There's no stopping. I could have a 10,000-hour work week if I wanted to. And your job description is so unclear. It's like a little bit of everything.
Everything, you have to do everything.
Yeah. So it's. But I haven't had a lot of. a lot of founders, they have the problem, they can't let go of things, so they still need to be able to poke into everything. I don't have that need. I don't.
That's a very good quality.
Yeah. So, but even though that's not my problem, I do way too much work, and I get exhausted sometimes, and so that's it. And business-wise, also, this is a no-brainer. Finding great people it's so hard. But what we've done is that I've chosen an approach. Everybody talks about inbound marketing, but what we do, I call it inbound recruiting. So basically, we have our brand. People know us for what we do. We have a lot of ethos about what we do and our passion for the craft. So basically, we get people contact us because they see us as a front runner, and it's like, I'm so tired with my work for this company. Could I please come to you and work instead?
So that's the best way to find the right people.
So basically, our growth targets is not we need to hit this by the end of the year. It's basically we need to bring on as many good quality people as we can find, and if we do that, we will be able to find work for them. So that's more or less our growth strategy.
So if somebody wants to find you, how can they find the company, the website, the blog, Twitter?
It's the Twitter handle is Conversionista, so that's pretty simple. Okay. And we have we do most of the things we do on conversionista.se, but it's in Swedish. So there's a small placeholder site, conversionista.com. You can see some things there. But also check out the globaloptimizationgroup.com.
We'll do that, and we'll link to all of that in the show notes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Wish you the best of luck.